A Duluth child care center has become the latest casualty in the Northland's growing child care crisis.
Now, Lakeside Early Learning Center announced this week they're closing in June.
Today, Northern News Now Sophia Lauber spoke with leaders learning more about the industry-wide issues at play.
Lakeside Early Learning Center has navigated a number of challenges in their 6 years here. Leaders say systemic issues are what ultimately led to their upcoming closure, leaving dozens of families scrambling for childcare on a tight timeline.
What we need in this community is more childcare options and more childcare centers, not less.
Lakeside has weathered funding, staffing, and building maintenance issues, but the final straw was the news that their liability insurance would not be renewed.
Providers are now reporting that they are seeing their premium costs triple, and in some cases cannot get insured at all. So this is an industry challenge and was really kind of the final thing that we just couldn't overcome.
Insurance is just one piece of what childcare advocate Courtney Greiner calls a broken system.
Mostly at the base of it is the business model just doesn't work.
Greiner, who owns a childcare center in Esco, says that's not due to a lack of effort.
And we're just trying to, take care of children in the best way possible. But as we continue to add these Band-Aids, it almost makes it more complicated.
She's now working with St. Louis County to establish a provider-run network focused on streamlining solutions, hoping to repair a failing system.
We have wonderful staff. We have wonderful families that have supported us through everything. And it's just really heartbreaking that we have to say goodbye.
The center serves roughly 75 children, and with the already existing shortage of facilities in the area, leaders here say it will likely be difficult for families to find new options before June 4th. In Duluth, Sophia Lauber, Northern News Now.
Thank you, Sophia. Greiner is also part of a group of providers spearheading a campaign for fully funded child care across Minnesota.